Explain the philosophy behind what you're trying to do here.
I think we want them to help us right now. And I think that if we can get agreement to help, it'll be easier in the future to ask for these things. Like, do we want to appear as people that have no idea what's going on? And I think once there's trust, it's a lot easier to say, like, hey, can you analyze this chemical for us? Hey, would you mind doing this? We should be forthright, I think, as much as makes sense, to gain trust and to get them to help us. If we appear as are we like escaped criminals that they've implanted something in our brain? Like, are they going to turn us over to the authorities? I don't know. But clearly, on this planet, we would be undesirable from the standpoint of the people in charge. They wouldn't want us interacting with people because they want to hide all this, that they're the ones that invent this stuff, and there's no aliens, and so I think we don't want to be in the position where they are going to feel uncomfortable with us or not be sure who we are, or we spin them this story that we ourselves don't understand. And
so your position is, you're not saying, yeah, let's play along with what they believe. You're not saying, no, let's tell them they're wrong about what they believe about us. You're saying, let's just play it close to the vest, say as little as possible, and let them think whatever they think.
Yeah.
Until we can get a little ahead in the game a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So, what was the last thing that happened?
I think we should we should then say, do you have any other questions for us?
Yeah. He seems a little less skeptical now. You get the feeling he's never seen this technology that's in your earpiece.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems a little tiny bit, I don't know, like you hear a little emotion in his voice when he asks you, why do you keep choosing Paxo?
I think we should say, I don't think we have chosen Paxo. I just think that it's been coincidence that he's been near us twice. That's what I think we should say.
Or that he was, the second time he was eager to try to find us.
Yeah, and the second time he was looking for us. And so where other people might have overlooked our landing, he was expecting something. That's a good point.
So, you give him that answer, and now he looks skeptical again. It's like he doesn't buy it. But he wants to know, so what is it that you expect us to do for you?
I want to lay out as detailed as possible what kind of parts we need to fix our ship.
Okay, so you would have spoken into the translator that you've got a cover that flew off, you've got a fat cable that came off. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Okay, you would express that we may be great at repairing things, but this isn't about repair, this is about needing a part. At that point, Paxo and Vril share a look to each other like, and the translator continues to read, or continues to say what you said, that you have some ideas of scouring town for parts, you have ideas of scouring the yard for parts, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. here's kind of what I had in mind, is that you guys might be doing some brainstorming about how you might go about this stuff in its simplest way. Now, I am springboarding from Bardak last time, in the last session, was asking if there was any part that you could use from inside of the ship. What I'm going to say is that the two of you have been talking. Now, we are going to break perfect logic in order to serve the story better. You guys would have been talking about anything you might be able to scavenge from the ship, and it's obvious that you probably aren't going to come up with a cable, but you've discussed some possibilities for what you might use as an impromptu panel. I've spent a lot more time thinking about this than you have, so I am willing to let you have a stroke of something like brilliance. What you're going to do is you're going to give me a 2d6 plus engineering.
Okay.
If you get a success, I will give you one of the hints on my list here, but I'm going to warn you that each one of these hints does have a potential flaw, and I'm not going to tell you what the potential flaw is, but it's logical. It's something you'd probably think of yourself if you had had 3 weeks to think about it. So there's going to be 3 of these.
Okay.
Only 3. You get as many hints as you get successes. Uh-oh.
4.
7.
You have a plus what in engineering?
3.
Nice.
You're
7, yeah, it's got to be an 8 to succeed, so try again.
8.
8. Alright. Every room on both decks, they have an airlock door that closes. And it occurs to you as an engineer that those doors are meant to withstand a great deal of stress. Perhaps they could be used on the outside of the ship. You got one last chance.
Another 8.
Another 8. We had sort of said, though I wouldn't call it entirely canon, we had sort of said that in the engineering room right there, that might be some housing on an accessible part of the engine.
Mm-hmm.
That engine housing, and that was your contribution to the canon, by the way, that engine housing is meant to minimize explosion damage to the rest of engineering. If it were to blow, that is a reinforced super kind of metal that would, to some extent, contain the explosion. So that might be useful on the outside of the ship.
Okay.
So there are your 2 hints. And there it is. So, let's say while you guys are discussing all of that, they've been, Paxo and Vril have been talking amongst themselves, and they butt in, and Paxo says, we might know where you could get the part you need, but you're not gonna like it, Cabo. And we will bio break there.